What's going on, everybody? It's EricRayweather back here, helping you take your game to the next level. And in this video, I'm going to teach you everything you need to know about offense in Madden 18. Now, if this is your first time checking out my channel, go ahead and hit the subscribe button below. Make sure that you hit the bell icon so that you join the notification squad and never miss an upload. So for today, I'm going to go over all the basics of offense on Madden 18. I've been getting a lot of requests from this, and I made the defensive video, which I'll link in the description, and a lot of people requested an offensive one, and I get a lot of these questions. I got them last year, I've gotten them this year, about a lot of specific things on offense that maybe to the more skilled gamer they know how to do, but a lot of the beginners don't know as much. So I'm going to cover everything with you. I'm going to teach you all the tricks you need to know about playing offense in Madden 18. So the first thing I want to start out with is personnel. So let's just say, for example, let's just say for shotgun, most of your shotgun formations, for the most part, the personnel is usually always going to be 3 wide receivers, 1 tight end, and 1 running back. You see here in split close, we have the 3 wide receivers, we have a running back and a tight end in the backfield. Now here is wing tight, we actually have 3 tight ends, 1 wide receiver, 1 running back, but this is a specialty shotgun formation. You don't see this as often, but if we scroll through here, you'll see 3 wide receivers, 1 tight end, 1 running back. 3 wide receivers, 1 tight end, 1 running back. Same for all these formations. So knowing that, you know that you can audible into any of these formations. You can audible into any formation that has the same personnel. So for example, let's say in gun tight, one of your favorite plays is PA cross. That is actually a formation audible in most gun tight formations. So let's say another play you really like is in the gun trio, and it is the PA shot wheel that I broke down last week. So you come out in PA shot wheel and say, whatever the look the defense gives you, you say, oh, I want to audible to that tight PA cross. You can press either X if you're on Xbox or square if you're on PS4. That brings up the audible menu here in the bottom right corner, and you can just hit the D-pad or you hit the D-pad. You can go left or right, and it brings up all these different formations. Each formation has 4 formation audibles. So we go over here to gun tight, and then you can go down, you see PA cross. You can audible into PA cross. So if you come out in any formation that has 3 wide receivers, 1 tight end, and 1 running back, you can audible into this play. So you would never actually have to come out in this play. You can come out in some other plays that you like that aren't formation audibles. So let's say we wanted to audible into the gun split close formation now. We bring it over. We scroll over, and let's say we want to come out, we want to go to halfback wheel. That's a formation audible, so you never have to come out in halfback wheel. You can come out in a whole different formation, a special play, and then if you say, okay, I want to switch it up and I want to audible to halfback wheel, you can do that. So knowing this, whatever playbook you use, it's good to go through, look at all your formations, know what the formation audibles are, so that you can always maximize the plays at your disposal. There's no reason to come out in halfback wheel if you're going to come out in any formation that has 3 wide receivers, 1 tight end, and 1 running back, because you can always audible to it. So knowing that, you can get the most out of your plays. You can have the maximum plays at your disposal. We can audible over to, let's see, gun tray, and let's see we want to run verticals drag. Can audible into that. So knowing all of the formation audibles in your playbook, it really helps have the most plays at your disposal at all times. And a lot of people don't know that, so that is a very good trick to know. Let's say we came out in I form tight. This formation is 2 tight ends, 1 wide receiver, 2 running backs, because there's a fullback. So let's just say we came out in this formation. If you bring up X or square to bring up the audible menu, you'll see we can audible into I form wing. And that's the only other formation we can audible in, because that's the only other formation that has the same personnel. And it's basically like the same formation almost. It's not like crazy different. It basically just flips the wide receiver, and it gives you like a dual tight end look. So knowing that, you don't ever have to come out in any of those plays. If you come out in I form tight, you can always audible to that. So knowing your personnel and what plays you have at your disposal, it's gonna make it easier for you to play offense, because depending on the look that the defense gives you, you can audible into something else. So that's the first thing you want to know. Now, also with personnel, something you want to know is packages. So let's go over to let's just go to gun tight. So if you use the right stick, if you look, you'll see packages at the bottom. So if you use the right stick and you flick it to the side, you'll see there's a package that brings a backup QB. And now you would never do that because you don't want to use the backup QB. But if you keep scrolling through, you'll see you have a halfback sub. So it'll swap out the halfback for the other halfback. You can keep going. It'll put a fullback in the backfield. Again, something you typically wouldn't do, but you have these packages at your disposal. You have wide receiver swap, so it takes Odell Beckham and Brandon Marshall, the top 2 wide receivers on the depth chart, and it switches their spots. And you can see, you can keep scrolling through, and there's a whole bunch of different packages. You can have a tight end sub, so you can sub in maybe your backup tight end's faster, and for this play you want a faster tight end. You can keep scrolling. You have tight end sub. So those are packages. Another thing you can do, and this is what I use. I don't use packages that much. What I typically do is I will hit the RB button, or if you're on PlayStation, it's the R1 button. And that allows you to manually sub people in and put them where you want. So basically, you hit the RB or the R1 button, and then you can just use the joystick, and you can cycle through all of your players. So let's say I want to move Odell Beckham where Sterling Shepard is. So I sub Beckham out, so I'll just put Will Tye here for the time being. Scroll over to Sterling Shepard, I put Odell Beckham there, and then I go back to Will Tye, and I could put Shepard there. Now, I can't put a wide receiver here where Ingram is because he's a tight end, so I can only put another tight end or like a fullback here, or you can put a right tackle. Like, let's say you were going to run the ball and you wanted some extra beef up there. You could sub your right tackle in there. That's a legal substitution. So you can hit RB. We'll go to a different formation. We'll go to gun tray. Hit RB. Let's say I want to move Odell to where Brandon Marshall is. Take Odell out. Go to Brandon Marshall. Put Odell there. Go back to where I subbed Odell out. Put Marshall there. So you can get the guys in the exact spots you need. So if you know that in this formation I need my fastest guy on the outside, then you put your fastest guy on the outside. If you know you need your second fastest guy on the inside, you put him on the inside, so on and so forth. Definitely something you should take advantage of. It really gives you the most flexibility to put who you want in what spots. Now, we're going to go over to something else I want to talk about, which is symmetrical formations. Now, every playbook doesn't have a symmetrical formation. Now, a symmetrical formation is a formation that is even on both sides, and you're only going to find this in single back, I believe. There may be a couple others, but usually it's going to be like single back, where you have a running back lined up directly behind your quarterback. So this, you could have this in pistol also. I don't think you have it in any like I-form formations. I don't believe there are any symmetrical I-form formations. But in single back or in pistol, so deuce close, for example, is a symmetrical formation. So we're just going to come out in a play. So the good thing about symmetrical formations is that you are able to flip the play without your opponent knowing. So let's say we were running the inside zone split. Now, if we playmaker this run, we have to use the right stick, and we flip it to the opposite side. When we do that, though, our defense is alerted that we could possibly be flipping the run. Now, we could be faking it, but they know that there's a possibility that we're flipping the run. But because this is symmetrical, we can actually flip the formation by audibling. So we could hit X or square and then the right trigger, and that flips the formation. So that means we can flip the run to the opposite side, and the defense never has a clue. Or if we're in a passing play, if they know that we run the corner out to the left side every time, we can just flip the formation, and now we're going to the right, but they don't know that we audible. We didn't have to flip the formation. Nobody moved. Now, watch, for example, if we were in single back wing, for example. So the play is set up like this. Now let's say we wanted to flip the play. We flip the play, but people move, so they know we flipped the play. That's the power of symmetrical formations, that you can flip the play without the defense knowing. So that is why a lot of players you will see run symmetrical formations, because they can be pretty powerful. It makes it very hard for your opponent to know which side you're running your plays to. Now let's talk about hot routing, because I've seen a lot of people ask about how to hot route. When you hot route, let's say we want to put the tight end on a drag route. So we will hit Y or triangle depending on the system. And then once you do that, you want to select the player's icon that you want to hot route. So we want to hot route Evan Ingram, so we hit the A button here. And then it brings up a list of all of the hot routes you can put them on. You can put them on a streak, an in route, an out route, a curl, a fade, a slant, a zig, a drag. We can block them. We can put them on a flat route. So we want to put them on a drag. So you look to see where the drag is. It's the right stick down. So we would click the right stick down, and now he's on a drag. Let's say we wanted to put him on a streak. That's the left stick up. Now he's on a streak. So that's how you hot route. Some people do not know how to do that, so it's definitely something you want to take advantage of. Like, if you think that you know what defense they're running, let's say they're in a man defense, and I know that their linebackers can't keep up with Evan Ingram because he's the fastest tight end in the game. So if they're in a man defense, let's just say, I could say, well, I think they're in a man, so let me put Ingram on a slant because I trust that he's fast enough to get by that linebacker. So I put him on a slant, And damn, I got block shedded. Crazy there. Now, keep in mind, route running does matter also. So, Evan Ingram is a rookie, so he doesn't have good route running. So, he's not going to create crazy separation. But let's say you had a good route runner who was also fast, and you know that the guy he's on cannot possibly cover him, and you think they're in man, then you hot route him to something like a slant, and you see what can happen. So, it's good to know how to hot route because it'll help you take advantage of your opponent when you have an idea of what your opponent is running. Now, let's talk about running the ball, because a lot of people don't know about running the ball. Now, if you want to run the ball, the best thing you could do is have 2 tight ends on the field because it's going to give you the best blocking. So, a formation here like I form wing or I form tight is a good formation to run the ball out of. A formation like deuce close, that has 2 tight ends on the field. This shotgun formation, wing tight, has 3 tight ends on the field, so you're getting the best blocking out of these formations. And another good thing is if you come out in a formation that has 2 tight ends on the field, and they just for whatever reason happen to be in like a pass defense. So let's just say that, because some people do this, they'll just stick in pass defenses all game, and you're running the ball and you have 2 tight ends, their guys are going to get pancaked pretty often. You're going to have gaping holes, and you're going to be able to dominate. If you only have 1 tight end on the field, you don't get that same benefit. The game doesn't trigger the same reactions. But if you have 2 tight ends on the field and they're in pass-heavy defenses, people are going to get pancaked, holes are going to open up wide for you. So that brings me to this next point here. So when you're in shotgun formations that have dual tight ends. Now, this playbook doesn't have a lot. I think it only has that one right here, that wing tight. So let's say we were in this formation. It has some good pass plays. So let's say we're in this PA double post, and they know we've been killing them with that. So they're in like a dollar defense. They're trying to stop our pass because we've been passing on them. We see that they're in a defense with a lot of DBs on the field. That's when you want to audible. So X or square brings up your formation audibles, and you go to the run play. The Y audible or the triangle audible, depending on your system, it's always going to be your run play. So you go here, we go to inside zone. We know they're in a pass defense. We know we can pancake the heck out of them. You saw that guy got pancaked there on the left because they're in a pass defense, and we're running the ball with multiple tight ends on the field. So we're always going to get the benefit. So that's a good thing about using shotgun formations that have multiple tight ends, is that you have the ability to pass the ball very well because you are in shotgun. So sometimes that forces the defense to have to play pass defense. And when you see them bring those extra DBs on the field, you can just audible to the run and completely take advantage of them. So that is something to note. Another key with running the ball is you never, never, never want to hold turbo right away. This is the biggest mistake people make. I even make it sometimes because it's such a habit to hold the turbo button. You want to get your guy to his fastest speed as quick as possible and break through the hole and get a big run. But when you hold turbo right away, that, for whatever reason, and it's been like this for years, it causes the defensive line to block shed quicker. When you're holding turbo, the defense just reacts completely different, and you are going to get block shed a lot more often. Also, you're going to hit the hole, or you're going to try to hit the hole too fast before the blocks can really develop and engage. What you want to do, see, if I was holding turbo right here, now, you see what happens? I kind of got block shitted. I could have ran a little bit more to the left. I would have probably been okay because they're in a pass defense. But the difference is, if you don't hold turbo and you just hold the right stick and you wait until you're in the open field to hit turbo, you're going to have a lot more success running the ball. So, like right here, I'm not hitting turbo until right now. I'm not hitting it until I'm already past the offensive line. Once I get past the line of scrimmage, that's when I'm holding turbo. So right here, that's when I start clicking turbo. Now, this guy is, making a good play on me because he's in a good position to tackle me. But I'm not jamming on turbo right away. I am trying to find the hole first. And you will notice that if you do this, you will have a lot more success running the ball. I'm not guaranteeing you're just going to break big runs every time, but you're going to have a lot more success if you do not jam turbo right away. You give your blocks more time to develop. You will see less block sheds. And as soon as you break through the hole, that's when you want to hit turbo and try to kick it into the next gear. That is very, very important. Now, let's talk about compressed sets, because compressed sets have been big in Madden for years for a reason. So, like, shotgun tight would be a compressed set. Single back deuce close would be a compressed set. I form close here would be a compressed set. Basically, what a compressed set is when all of the wide receivers, all of the players are compressed together. They're all in very tight. Whereas, like, right here, this doubles Y flex would be considered a spread set. And this trio falcon would be considered a trip set. You're heavy on one side of the field and open on the other. Compressed is when everybody is tucked in as close to the line of scrimmage as they can. And the reason this is so good is because it gives you the most area of field to operate with. And it also helps with creating flood concepts, which I'll talk about because they kind of go hand in hand. So when everything's compressed, you have so much room on either side of the field. It makes it harder on defenses because they pretty much have to base a line, because if they come in tight, let me see if I can set this up. If they come in tight like this, they're leaving themselves too vulnerable. The outside is too open. If you get off the bump quick, or if you're just faster than them, you're going to get to the open area a lot quicker. So it forces defenses to base a line, which pretty much spreads their coverage out, makes it even throughout the field. But this is what leaves the middle of the field open. It's what leaves the run open. See, since everybody's spread out like this, the run is a lot more open for us because there's less guys in the box, and as you can see, we can take advantage of them easier in compressed sets because of this, because they have to spread their defense out. But another thing that is really good about this is it makes it very easy to flood zones. So a common flood concept would be a corner, a streak, and a flat. If there is one flood concept you learn in this video, this is the one you need to know. So you want 3 wide receivers on the same side of the field. So here we motion him over to get this look. Now, if we were in like a gun bunch week or gun bunch tight end, we would already have 3 wide receivers on the same side of the field bunched together. But in this, we kind of had to just do a little makeshift. We moved him over. So a corner, a streak, and a flat is the best flood concept in the game. It will flood any zone the game can throw at you, because all these guys over here on the left, they can't cover all these routes at one time. One of them will always be open against zone defense. So here you see the flat is wide open. We rack catch it, and we take it for 10 yards because they're playing a Tampa 2, and they're playing standard. Now, let's say they were playing underneath, right? They're going to play underneath coverage because we've been killing them in the flats. So then we're going to show you how it floods that. So they're playing underneath coverage. That'll take away the flat, but you can't take away everything. So it's going to take away the flat now, but the corner is now wide open. We'll go to a cover 3 real quick. I mean, this has been popular in Madden for years, and I know this is something that a lot of, the more beginner players or not as experienced players, they don't know. But if you just learn this one flood concept, it's simple. You just need to come out in a play that has a corner, and you can hot route the streak and the flat, and you just need them on one side of the field. Now we're in a cover 3, and you'll see the corner gets open because there's just too much for them to worry about. They can't cover it all. And most people are going to run zone defenses Madden. So flood concepts are something you absolutely want to take advantage of. Another flood concept that's pretty common is like a levels concept. So I'll show you what that looks like really quickly. So like Gun Tray you see the play level sail. So pretty much you're going to have like 3 wide receivers on the same side of the field. You're going to see this in trip sets mostly. So you have 3 wide receivers on the side of the field. They're all running an in route, but they're at different depths of the field. They can't cover all of these. One of them will always be open. They cannot cover all of the in routes. So that was a cover 2. We can go to a cover 3. It's just there's too many routes in one area of the field. You're flooding the zones. It means you're making them have to pick their poison. Like, they're not all going to be open. They can't cover them all. He dropped the ball there, but he was inside. He had position. They can't cover them all. And then on the right side of the field, you have a flat and a corner concept, which we don't have the streak with that, but a flat and a corner, it's still a good flood concept. It's better with a streak because it makes it harder, but as long as you have a read going high and a read going low, you always have something you can attack. You can see the running back's wide open because we're flooding that blue zone over there. He has to pick his poison. So learning flood concepts will make it so easy. Once you understand how to beat zones with route combos, you will be very hard to stop on offense. So that's basically it for this video. That is all the basics you need to know about playing offense in Madden 18. And not just Madden 18. This really goes for any Madden. All of these same tactics work year in and year out because, most of these are just simple, like hot routing, audibling, things like that. But flood concepts will always work. That's how people beat zones in real life in the NFL. They try to flood them. They run different concepts. Now, in the NFL, they run tons of concepts. In Madden, you can just run a couple. You don't need to get too crazy with it. Because it's just a game. But that's how you want to beat zone defenses. And like I said, you want to know when to hot route, and you'll learn these things more the more you play. You have to use them and get comfortable with them. You can't say, well, I'm too scared to mess up, so I'm not going to do it. No, you have to do it. You have to force yourself to get better at it, and that's when you start kind of getting that natural instinct of, okay, I can kind of feel what defense he's in, or I know I need to flood this side of the field, or I need to, put this man beating route by this player because I have a feeling he's playing man. You learn these things the more you use it, so that will really help you get better at the game the more you use it. So if you guys enjoyed this video, as always, just drop a like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you guys next time.